No greater nachas than I get that when one of the big stars from a pay-per-view comes on the Monday, literally the Monday, not the Wednesday, not the following week, the Monday. Rose has always done that. I appreciate it more than she knows. And so it's with a great honor and respect to say hello once again to Rose Namajunas, the reigning defending UFC strawweight champion, who is back from Madison Square Garden. How are you, Rose?
What up, Thug Nose?
What's happening, Thug Rose? It's Thug Nose, your old pal. Did you get the shirt? I sent it to you.
I don't know. I think there's like some packages on the front door, so I'll go check in a little bit.
All right. I was gonna like, man, did I send it to the wrong address? Did I mess this up?
No.
Wow. Okay. We have a lot to talk about. First and foremost, congratulations. How do we feel about Saturday? What transpired on Saturday? How do you feel about it?
I feel really good. Yeah, I would have liked to do certain things better, but ultimately I'm really happy with myself.
Could you tell us what those things are that you're referring to?
Yeah, there was just certain things in my game plan that we trained 6 months specifically not to do that I ended up doing.
Wow.
I'll maybe keep those things to myself, but I think it made things harder for me than they needed to be. And yeah, so ultimately though, I adjusted and I figured things out, but there was just, yeah, it was stupid.
When you're in the moment and you know that you're doing those things that you prepare not to do, are you talking to yourself and saying like, we actually prepared not to do this? Or is this something that comes to you in hindsight?
Sort of. I mean, there was like I think there's multiple voices going on inside your head when you're thinking about certain things, but like subconsciously, consciously, but so I think it's somewhere in the background I was thinking like, this is exactly what we trained not to do. But then I think at the same time, ultimately, like there's certain things that your perception of reality in the moment afterward, you watch it and you're like, oh, that was totally different than what I was thinking.
Have you had a chance to watch the fight?
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched it twice.
Twice? Really? Interesting.
Actually, maybe 3 times. Yeah, I think 3 times.
Already?
Yeah. Well, one at the airport and then one twice home. And then twice at home.
Speaking of the airport, you're still doing the thing where you guys go straight to the airport. You don't even give yourself a chance to sleep in, take the later flight. Why do you keep doing this?
Because especially in New York, the only reason, and at the time of the year, because of the Boston Marathon,
New York Marathon.
Year, yeah. New York Marathon. That was going on, so we just knew it already takes a really long time to get to the airport and whatnot, and then it's usually an early flight anyways. So, and by the time the fight's over, after interviews, after getting back to the hotel, just signing autographs and things, you don't get to the hotel until way late. So, and then it pretty much just leaves time to pack and leave because you're kind of just like,
yeah,
taking your time, trying to take a shower and, get the fight off of you,
Do you just, like, at what point you just crash mentally? I would imagine there's this amazing adrenaline, right? And you get to and you probably couldn't even go to sleep if you wanted to. And then you go, but like, at what point do you feel your body just shut off?
So this one, I almost felt an adrenaline dump, like, right as they were putting the belt on me, I felt sort of like, and then I would say, but I mean, I was still up and the crash hit me a lot sooner this time though. Cause usually like, especially after the last one, I was up for a couple of days. So, this one, as we were up for all like more than 24 hours, but by the time it was like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, I was like, oh.
Oh, and when you say the last one, you were up for a couple of days, like you literally didn't go to sleep?
Yeah, I was on such an adrenaline high. That
wow.
It just, yeah.
What are you doing to pass the time at like 4 a.m?
Just talking about it, going over everything and, with family, and because you got to tell the same story like 10,000 times.
Right.
Everybody wants to hear their version of it and they want to tell you your version of it. And then, so it's like that takes forever.
And so this time you say
yeah, go ahead.
You were saying like you had the dump as the belt was being put on you. Is that uncommon?
Yes, that was sort of strange.
Why do you think that happened?
I don't know. Something about I like the buzz that I felt in Florida from the crowd was totally different this time. Like I knew there was like, it was lit in there, and I knew that like the crowd was humongous and they were really loud, but for some reason I wasn't getting charged up by it the same way I was last time.
Wow, that's interesting. Anything to do with like?
I mean, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was really aware of my surroundings and I was in it, but it just didn't feel that buzz the same way, I guess.
Okay. I was going to suggest maybe it was Halle Berry's fault. She puts a belt in you, it just didn't feel the same.
No, that was super awesome.
Oh my God. I used to love Halle Berry. I mean, like, who didn't love Halle Berry? And you didn't even realize it was her, right?
Yeah, the weigh-ins, I was just so lasered and focused, but and I didn't notice until like right before they were about to read the decision. I was like, oh, there's Halle Berry and she's in here. And then like we kind of just like exchanged a couple words, but she's like, I love you. And I was like, oh my God, I love you too. Like, and then but I didn't know that was her putting on the belt on me. I just heard Dana saying, hold on, Rose, hold on, because like obviously they were having some trouble getting it on, but I didn't know that was her doing that.
Wow. As far as the actual fight went, I'm assuming you expected more wrestling out of her, right? I mean, considering her training camp and everything, that didn't surprise you. Did anything that she did, surprised you?
Yeah, she didn't really. I thought she was going to come forward a little bit more. I knew she's a counter striker. She always sits back. She's just going to try to counter you. She doesn't really have that much offense, but I feel like I still thought she was going to try at least.
Okay. And so you were expecting a little more aggression out of her.
Yeah.
What were you thinking, like going into the fifth? What did you think the score was?
I thought, well, I definitely felt like I lost the first, and then I wasn't sure about the third, but I was pretty, wait, no, I'm sorry. I can't remember what order I wasn't sure about, but I knew that I had won 2 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, and then the other ones were like sort of up in the air. So I was like, it really comes down to this one, you know?
So that's obviously the right mindset to have, but I've been talking all show long, and I was even talking about it on Saturday. I want open scoring. Now, no one cares what I want. Who the hell am I? But as someone who actually lives this and is in that moment, is there not a part of you that's like, I kind of wish I knew what the score was right now. Am I up? Am I down? Am I tied? How do you feel about open scoring?
Yeah. You know, I would see how for some fighters that's their mentality. That would help them. For me, I need to be in the present moment because I need to treat every round as if it's its own fight. And besides for the fact that it's like that has to be the mentality in order for me to finish you at any moment, because that's what I do. I take advantage of opportunities. I'm a great finisher. And so for me, my mindset has to be perfect. So I couldn't like, it's weird. Like, you got to observe those things, but you can't let those things dictate what your other decision-making processes in those moments, I guess.
So you'd rather not know?
Yeah. It's like, I think I overthink already. So, for me, I like, to add other people's opinions about the fight in there, it's going to really throw things off.
Okay. What are you overthinking?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just doing a lot of calculation. I'm doing the right amount of thinking, you know, but I just, there's a lot to process. So I'm really good.
You are, dare I say you're the best.
Yeah.
Going into that fifth round, I love when we get to hear the corner and Pat was saying, be a professional, 5 more minutes, be a professional. What does that mean to you? What does be a professional mean?
It means to be disciplined and control your emotions and, just protect yourself at all times.
Did you think you had won when the fight was over?
Yes.
You were confident.
I knew when the fight was over. Now, there was a moment when they said Weili's name first on the score, because usually I always think about, like, oh, this person says this person says that, and then the other, you know what I mean? Whoever says the name first, I always feel like, does that mean that I'm the loser? But lately, I don't think that they really say that for any reason. What was I going to say? Sorry, my mom's cooking right now.
Oh.
Oh, by the way, didn't mean to change the subject, but
Sure.
that is not my parents. That ESPN put that I was hugging. That I was hugging after the fight.
Yes,
so my mom. This is my mom, guys.
Hello. Congratulations.
Yeah. And my dad's not here. He's no longer with us. So I was actually kind of pissed because it was like just my dad's birthday just this past like week. And yeah, so that kind of upset me because I was like, I don't, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I saw you commented on it. And obviously that should upset you. Who were those people?
Oh, it's my lawyer.
Oh, okay. Was your mom there?
No.
Didn't want to? Doesn't like to watch you fight? Any particular reason?
She's, well, yeah, it's a little stressful.
Yeah, I can imagine. So going back to, and thank you for clearing that up. Going back to the actual ending of the fight, I thought when they said 49-46, I thought that it was going to her. I
think when I heard that, I thought it was going to me. Well, I wasn't sure, but like it just took me a second to realize, like right before Bruce Buffer's about to say "and still," I was like, "Yep, that's me."
You got it. All right.
Yeah.
Now do you feel like whatever friction there was between you guys, do you think it's over?
I would say they're better. You know, I would never like. I guess. I would say they're better. I don't think that. I think she still wants to get a fight, you know. So I still gotta be on my toes. Like it's not like I'm gonna let my guard down or anything. But she definitely has a lot of respect for me because, and I think yeah, just I think they're better.
Did you talk afterwards?
No, I said after the weigh-ins though, I ran into her and I was like, shit. But other than that, and she was like, oh, but other than that, we didn't really say anything.
What does that mean?
Oh no, she did come out to me. I'm sorry, she did come. Means thank you in Chinese or whatever. But she said, what did she say? She said something to me right after, and I don't know, like you're the best, or I don't know, or maybe I told her that, like I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't expect you to say that, Rose. Yes. So I mean, it's got to be Carla next, right? I mean, this has to happen, correct? This is what you want, I would imagine. No,
I would like to. Yeah, I would like to. I don't see what anything else makes like sense.
Is there a part of you that like not just you would like to, but you want to avenge the loss, right? You want to show you got better. I mean, this is, I want to say personal in the sense that you don't like her, because I thought her message to you, I don't know if you saw it, was very respectful and nice. Did you see it?
Yes.
Yeah. So it doesn't seem like there's a beef there, but I would imagine the sports woman in you wants to avenge that, correct?
Yes. And the reason is too, I believe that I think what she did by sort of, I think she's gonna give it all she's got. You know, this is it'll be a very like before I said Weili is for sure the most like dangerous threat right now just because of the tools that she possessed. But I think now with nobody else, like now after that, Carla's for sure gonna be the most like dangerous opponent right this second because of where she's at, her last performance and all this stuff, and she's gonna be very motivated to try to, you know, she's fought for a long time. So I would imagine that she's going to be pretty motivated for this huge opportunity. So that is something that really excites me and interests me even more now than it was before.
When in a perfect world would you like to return?
I mean, definitely, I would say, I mean, before, like by April, but I mean, I would, if it could be sooner, that's also a possibility. And that's something that I sort of was hoping that I had no injuries or anything like that, but we'll see.
Did you have any injuries?
No, but going into this one, I wasn't sure if my like eye was okay. And then it turned out to be fine, but I did have like a little bit of a scare for a moment. But I'm just glad now that like everything's fine and I can compete. So I guess I'm just gonna have to check everything up and make sure everything's like 100% before I, jump on the I don't know, train of like, yeah, let's go.
Right. What happened? Did you get hit in the eye, poked in the eye?
It was like a headbutt.
Oh my.
Yeah. Yeah.
And is it feeling better after the fight?
No, it feels better now, but yeah, there was like it was a scare because I wasn't sure if it was like, is this career ending? Is this like, you know what I mean? Like not just like for the fight, but I was like, what the fuck,
Right.
But I got everything like cleared and everything's fine.
Okay. The big story of that night, one of the big stories was your coach, Trevor Whitman, who all but secured the Coach of the Year award. He doesn't. I keep trying to get Trevor won't talk. He doesn't like to do interviews anymore or anything. He just likes to go away. He's like the hardest guy to get. And I told him I respect this. I'm not offended by this whatsoever. I respect that he doesn't want to take the shine away from you guys. He's not in it for that. I wish more people felt like that. It doesn't help my show, but I get it and I respect him tremendously.
Yeah, I think it's easy to like overthink, like not overthink, but like it's easy to say the thing that is just slightly different from what you intended it to mean or whatever, So I mean, I don't know how like his particular feelings, but I know for myself, I'm like, I definitely, I'm like, yeah, it's a lot of people's opinions, you know what I mean? Right. But then you gotta realize like whatever, people's opinions are stupid.
Well said.
Not all the time.
I just was saying, like, being part of that experience with the 3 fights on the main card, fun in the aftermath. Would you want to go through that again, or do you prefer, like, seeing Justin earlier? That was insanity. Kamaru was after you, but was that a lot to take?
It was a lot, but it was very rewarding. I will say that, just to have the outcome that we got, and even if it wasn't going to be that, it was like going to be okay. But that would be fun to do again. I just don't know. Maybe Gaethje goes after me.
Yeah.
Instead of him before me. But no, I really enjoy watching both of them fight. Actually, like Kamaru's a master at what he does too, and super clean performance. So I just it was fun, especially like doing training camp and but I think yeah, we did pretty good. So it was challenging though.
Are you watching the 15-minute fight with Justin?
Yes.
You're probably in the locker room warming up, and you're watching that? You're locked in.
I was watching it locked in. Like I was trying to still be like warming up, but then I just totally it was, yeah. I was like, I'll just get back to it after this because there's 2 fights. So that was actually really good. They switched it to the first fight of the night or the pay-per-view. But yeah, having those 2 fights in between was great because that totally shifted the energy, I think, in the locker room.
Could you imagine if he was right before you having that exact same fight?
Yeah. I guess it probably would have worked out too, but I'm thinking that would have been probably tough. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By the way, speaking of being supremely focused, like on Thursday, that press conference was bananas. And like, everyone's doing this stuff. And you're just like, it feels like there's nothing going on. It's like that picture, that meme of the dog. I don't know if I'm messing this up, like drinking the coffee when there's fire all around them. Like that, it felt like that was you. Like there's total craziness and you're just locked in. Are you able to truly block all of that out? Or is there a part of you that is aware that this is going on and you're just not letting it enter into, your psyche?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it gets tough, but yeah, just lots of practice. I think that's the biggest thing and even Weili was talking about this, and I'm sure any other fighter on this level is going to attest to this, but everything's about dealing with distractions, the more attention and the more wins you get, the more people are trying to get you or do things or just more noise is always going to be the challenge.
Are you talking to yourself during that press conference to block it out, to be distracted?
Sometimes, yeah.
Like on Thursday, were you?
Yes.
What are you saying?
Just my mantras, or my prayers.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It is fascinating stuff. I'll leave you with this. Just curious, like, what is it like for you to go to the busiest city in the world, Madison Square Garden, all that stuff, all that craziness, the press conference, it's like a crazy week, right? There's so much attention, there's so much energy, and then you go back to this quiet house, removed from everything. Like,
you hear the frying onions.
Yes.
In the background.
I can smell
Hopefully that wasn't a distraction the whole time. Yeah, it smells really good right now.
No, not a distraction. There's something very soothing about it, actually. And you just kind of like, you're like one of the most famous fighters in the world, beloved by all these people. And then you just go back to your kitchen table. How do you deal with that? How do you like switch it on and off? Like, is it hard those days after to go back to normal?
I will say that's probably, I think a bunch of other fights relate to this too. Maybe not every one of them, but most of them, I would say right after a fight, doing something so crazy like that, and then getting to the airport and making your way back home, and we're just like, well, we're back to normal, I guess. Like, this is weird. I mean, like, it's sort of, there's still crazy things that, you have to do, or, obviously you got to do interviews, this and that, but for the most part, you get, nice little bouquet coming to the house or things like that. But ultimately it's like, yeah, but I'm still just a regular human being, Still got it. My refrigerator just broke. We got to get a new refrigerator. Got to go to Home Depot, do regular people things.
Any plans to go back to Lithuania?
To Lithuania, that would be awesome. I would love to go see my grandmothers and the rest of my family. I have a nephew, right? Yeah, a brand new nephew that I haven't actually, and niece. I have a brand new niece. She was born, let's say, she's 2 now? Not yet. Oh, almost 2. That's crazy.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, obviously a lot has happened since I was back there. And I know the last time I was there, people were so crazy and excited. So to bring the belt there would be amazing too.
Oh man, I can't imagine. Rose, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for doing this. You always come on after the fights, and it really means a lot. So thank you so much. Thank you to Pat as well. Congrats to you and your family on an amazing fight, an amazing moment, another one at MSG. Not a lot of people could say they've won a couple fights at the world's most famous arena, especially ones on that level with those kinds of stakes. Yeah. So enjoy it. Well done, and I can't wait for the next one.
Thank you.
And shout out to the Earthship School as well. We hit our mark.
Oh, thank you so much for that. That is amazing. Yeah, I'll have to post about that or something later.
No worries. Yeah, that's the man right there, Pat McAfee. I put him up there. You see him above my... He's the one who did it.
So cool. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Yeah, shout out to the Earthship Academy, Haiti, and thanks, Pat McAfee, so much for that donation. That was amazing.
Thank you, Rose. Appreciate it. Enjoy, and congrats.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
There she is. Thug Nose meets Thug Rose again, this time after the victory. A beautiful thing. Thank you so much to her.